Anyway, this next passage, one of my favorites. We're only a few days into the tour, and we had to bunker down in Seattle for a weekend. And it ended up being kind of an interesting weekend with Ian's cousins. Here we go. Day 5, 8/1/87, Seattle. Our Canadian work visas aren't good till Monday, so we're stuck in Seattle through the weekend. We're staying at Ian's cousin Mindy and her husband Sandy's place. When we stumbled in after the gig last night, we didn't realize what a huge place they have. An impeccably clean split-level house in a deathly quiet suburban neighborhood about a half hour outside of Seattle. Matching beamers in the driveway, perfectly manicured garden in the front, and a backyard lawn a football team could practice on. Inside, sculptures, paintings, expensive rugs, immaculate furniture, and a home theater with a massive big screen TV. It's like a museum, pretty to look at, but you're afraid to touch anything. Ian sets up headquarters at the kitchen table and makes calls all morning as the rest of us eat Cheerios and nurse cups of coffee. As I chomp away at my cereal, I open the front page of the Seattle Times to the side of the biggest goddamn tornado that just hit Edmonton. 27 killed, hundreds injured. Guess where we'll be in a week. Mindy and Sandy are your basic 80s, straight out of Central Casting. They're both in Izod Lacoste shirts, collars turned up, Sperry topsiders, no socks. Even their dog is a yuppie. They named it Roderick, for Christ's sake. It doesn't take long to discover we're living on a completely different planet. So, you guys are in a rock band, huh? Sandy asked, pouring himself a cup of coffee. What's this, like a summer project or something? We all look at each other, not sure what to say. Ian, embarrassed for us, jumps in. They're on tour promoting their record. You should see. They're getting great reviews, and last night they packed the place and had it rocking. Gosh, that's so great, Mindy jumps in. We have some nice places here in Seattle. Sandy, where was it we saw REO Speedwagon? That was so fantastic. A little loud, but the laser show was amazing. We're kind of on a different grid, I say, basically slugging it out in the clubs. Oh, we went to a club once, Mindy says. Remember, Sandy? Your boss's son played that, what do they call it, a jig? We had to leave early, too smoky. A gig, Ian says, looking like he's decomposing right in front of us. Oops, Mindy starts laughing way too hard. A jig, well, there was dancing. Man, it's like talking to aliens. We spent most of the day trying to chase down last night's booker who stiffed us, got the major runaround. When we get back to Mindy's and Sandy's, a big barbecue is starting. A bunch of their yuppie friends are all holding Coronas with lime wedges. The guys all around the barbecue, the wives all at a table. Mindy and Sandy are dressed alike again. We've started calling them Chip and Buffy. Sandy's bragging about a state-of-the-art barbecue to everyone. Everything tastes just a little bit better on this bad boy. We're like a freak show to these people. We sit there trying to behave while they ask us a bunch of stupid questions. How much money are we making? Do we have binding contracts with every venue? Do we have a powerhouse legal team? Are we investing our earnings and diversifying our portfolio? Idiots. I try to explain the DIY Creo when suddenly Sandy erupts like he's had an epiphany. I get it. You're salesmen. You have the product, the music, and you guys are the face and the product. And you go in the field and put that shoulder to the wind, and you sell, just like us, guys. He says, looking at the rest of his clones who are just all standing there nodding with dumbass smiles on their faces. It's not quite like that, I say, trying to let it roll off my back as George whispers in my ear. Fuck it. Don't embarrass Ian. Just let these dicks give us their pat on the head. They know deep down they're living a lie and they hate us for it. So, Sandy says, squeezing some lime in his Corona, what happens if you don't make it? To be honest, I say we're more concerned with what happens if we don't try. But what's your backup plan? Sandy asks a little condescendingly. What's yours? George fires back, now getting a little pissed off and not hiding it well. Don't need one, bud, Sandy says, surprised at the question. Look around. See those cars in the driveway? I'll be retired before I'm 50. Well, Chip, George says sarcastically, it's quite a legacy, but we don't live in your world. It's not morning again in America for us. I can see the pained expression on Ian's face, but I'm getting tired of making nice. If that's what floats your boat, I say, but we want to do something more than help rich men get richer. You make it sound like we're slaves, Sandy says pointedly. We're being rewarded for our hard work. Everybody wins. You'll see. No, you'll see, I say. Every day you carry out someone else's marching orders, you're selling yourself on the cheap. Little by little, day by day, you become less and less until you don't even remember what your dreams were. Don't worry about me, bud, Sandy says, reaching into the ice chest for another Corona. I'm doing just fine. Tell me something, I say. Wasn't there that one dream you had? You know, the one that gnaws at you. Didn't you ever stand at the crossroads knowing the decision you make was going to impact the rest of your life? That's where we're at right now, and I can't think of anything more horrifying than sitting up in the middle of my life knowing I was meant to do something else, but I folded up my tent and didn't fire my shot. It's going to get ugly if we keep going, so I back off, but man, Sandy and his crew can't be more than a few years older than us. Here we are out here feeling like we're reborn, and they can't wait to retire. Man, it's like a microcosm of everything we're fighting against. It just completely justifies everything we're doing out here. We've got to keep going. It's like a moral imperative now. The consequences are dire to do anything but.
Great.